Hello everyone, I'm Steve, Mark's still at work, and this is Smokey Steve and Mark. Welcome or welcome back, and happy Tuesday. It's one of those days that doesn't have a feel. I remember there was a Seinfeld sketch. They're like, Friday has a feel, Sunday has a feel. Kramer felt Tuesdays and Thursdays. So Mark may be coming in at any moment, so hopefully if the door busts in, it's him and we didn't get swatted. Today I wanted to talk about, as you can guess by the title, crying at work. The bigger picture of that being dealing with like emotional, mental, spiritual, even crises, long term or short term, while you're still trying to maintain employment and trying to negotiate those things. Now, on my end of the world, I'm employed full time, and I have been for the last 5 years. And I took, as far as taking breaks from work, and in my case, it's mental and emotional issues that I deal with. I've only had to take time off from work the extended period of about 2 months, and that was pretty early into my employment there, actually. So beyond that, I've taken the mental health day here and there. But let's talk about when I'm actually at work. Not every day can be a mental health day. There's sometimes, even if I'm not well, I have to go to work anyway. And there's plenty of people with mental health concerns, big or small, who go to work, get up in the morning before that, have their cereal, brush their teeth, and go out into the world. And it's no big deal just to cope. But a little behind the scenes. For the last couple weeks, I've been dealing with some depression. I've been tired, I've been having trouble sleeping, lights feel too bright, everything just feels a little too much. Sounds are too loud, all that kind of stuff. But I decided to just kind of keep going on with the business of life, because I'll be depressed at home, or I'll be depressed shopping, or I'll be depressed working, whatever it is. And for a few days, luckily Mark's up now in the morning, which is helpful, because mornings are really rough for me, and anymore because Mark works early, he's sitting right over here where Dandy is. Dandy is the stand-in comfort animal for Bandit. Mark would be here, and I'm over in my chair, and we can talk if we want to, or sit in dead silence, and it's no big deal because we're neither of us morning people. And some mornings I'll get weepy because just the overwhelmingness of what the day is going to bring. It's overwhelming what the day could possibly bring. And I just don't think I'm up to it. What's weird is that I'll wake up sometimes around 6 in the morning and feel gung-ho and guns blazing, and then I'll roll over and catch 10 minutes more sleep and be like, I've lost the will to live. So get up, cry a little, go to work. Just recently, I'll give you an example. This was within the last week or so. I got to work and I could not stop sniffling and crying. I was crying all the way to work. Not huge sobs, but the kind where your lip quivers and your eyes just won't stop watering, and maybe your nose a little bit. Or if the eyes stop, the nose goes, the nose stops, the eyes go. And got to work, and I was at my desk, and I'm like, I got tissues, and I'm just trying to very discreetly and not let it affect my voice. Like, good morning, how are you? So, I was also talking to myself a little bit that day. It's another symptom that I kind of have every once in a while. If my brain's going really fast, which even though I was having negative, depressing thoughts, they were coming quickly. That's kind of the dual thing with the bipolar. So my boss came to the door and I was like, excuse me. Now they know I have some mental health concerns where I work, because I work as a peer specialist. I'm identified as a person who has a mental health issue where I work, and who works with other people who have those as well. So it's no mystery to anyone I work with that I have a few challenges, maybe. I was like, do you mind if I just periodically throughout the day close my office door? Because I'm feeling a little weepy and I'm murmuring to myself. And my boss was like, oh yeah, sure, whatever you need. So a little bit of an accommodation could be made if I need to. At least I have that opportunity. That's not the option where everybody works. I understand that if you're on the line, if you're working in like an Amazon warehouse or a distribution center, or if you're a nurse and you're called into an emergency, that's not always an option. I do know folks who will steal a little time in the bathroom to get a few tears in. Folks who will, certainly smokers go out on break, just, to catch some of their addiction and to get a little air to blow off some steam. So trying to steal moments during the day, during the workday, to take care of yourself. Some people do deep breathing at their desks. People who are in the office sector like I am, depends. Some people have those things that spurt out scents. There's someone in my office who uses like essential oils in theirs or sprays. Peppermint's very nice. Lavender's very soothing. Luckily, not everyone runs theirs all at once, or it would be like Bath and Body Works and it would stink in there. Um, but it kind of creates a little more of a soothing kind of environment. I will usually have music on. If I'm doing something that I can keep an earphone in one ear, I'll usually have music playing. Or I'll find an album on YouTube and hit play and just let it roll. So I can kind of keep the thoughts focused on the music and I can split my attention between that and what I'm doing. And to that end, I can multitask. So that can kind of keep a handle on racing thoughts or letting my mind wander to like a negative place. And then if it did, I have the, agreement that I'm going to violate the open door policy today if I need to, because my privacy to me is important, and I want to keep that kind of to myself. I don't care if anyone knows, but if I can make myself a little more discreet, I'm going to. Now, I'm going to have some challenges coming up in the next, I'm going to say 12 weeks. I have a different set of duties that are like other duties as assigned. And periodically, depending on who's available, I work as a patient advocate at a state mental hospital. And that's challenging in certain pieces. And the job is basically like any other patient advocate for any other field of health or anything like that. You talk to individuals who have concerns, or you ask folks if they have concerns about the services they're getting, the treatment they're getting, dissatisfied, satisfied, and if they're dissatisfied, how can you help them remedy the situation? Do you help them mediate? Do you help them file a formal complaint or an incident report? Were they being abused? Does it need to go to a higher level? And you kind of help them navigate all that. You sit in discharge meetings to make sure their voice is being heard, stuff like that. It's not the strongest part of my skill set. I'm good with other stuff. I'm good with talking with clients, patients, individuals, consumers. The name's changed 1,000 times and it'll change again. The folks who were in the hospital. I'm good with those folks. The staff, hit or miss. I can turn it on when I have to. But it was giving me an incredible amount of anxiety to be up there. I've been in facilities before, not a state mental hospital. I've been in the community hospital on the psychiatric unit 5 times. And I've been incarcerated. And it smells more like a jail than a hospital. I don't know what else to say. And the fact that there's doors that lock behind you, doors that you have to open with a key. I have a swipe badge that I have to put my social security number in to get in and out. Now, the irony is not lost on me, and I have to say I'm a little proud, that I have a master key to a state mental health facility, because, you wouldn't have trusted me with $2 to hold on to you for 10 minutes, 10 years ago. So I'll call that progress. But feeling ill-equipped to do it, and being anxious about doing a good job, and being anxious about not knowing the ins and outs of all the stuff, and knowing I'm going to have to ask for a lot of help to get it done, means having to put my ego aside, which makes me more anxious. So I'm going to have to find some ways to cope with that too. So I kind of tried to channel today from anxious to excited. I was like, let me just do the stuff I know how to do and see if I can do it really well. So I made rounds. I saw some folks who I knew previously. I talked to some staff that I knew just to rekindle it, remind myself of names. So I tried to spin it and take a positive angle. Positivity, positive vibes. It's much easier. In case you guys can't tell, it's far more easier for Mark to be positive than me. I do what I can, but it's not where I start from. It's not my temperament generally to start from a place of Pollyanna positivity. It's an aspiration I have. I wish I was that kind of person. I have moments where I am that kind of person who sees things initially as positive and not negative. And those are good times. And some mornings I do wake up like that. Lately, they haven't been like that. So my tool set for work. See if you can find a place with a door that shuts if you need to weep, murmur to yourself, or just get a second to breathe without an audience. If there's anywhere you can get away to walk, if you're allowed on a break, for any way to do that, to get some air, do that as well. I'm assuming that you have a break at your job, labor laws, things like that, I would hope. Um, if you're allowed to use your phone on breaks or at lunch, somebody to call, I will text Mark periodically during the day and say, this is how my day is going, how is your day going? So there's a lifeline to somebody there. Work friends are good if you have them. Some people, it's just work is not the place for friends or acquaintances. That's sometimes the best thing for your mental health. Some workplaces have a lot of drama, and it's better to just stay away from work friendships. But if that's something that is happening at a place of employment, that can be a good resource as well. Definitely take advantage of any sort of FMLA. What is that thing they always have you do if you get hurt at work? Not workman's comp. It's the people that you have to go to their hospitals and stuff. Whatever. Employee Assistance Program, EAP. Those are always available if you need bigger services or if you need therapy or something like that. They can usually help guide you. HR, in my experience between employers, goes a couple ways. They're either super accommodating or really not accommodating if you need help with something like that. So a lot of it is the same as in other life. Ask for a little help. If you need to do things differently than other people, if you need to work with your door closed, that's fine, as long as you can still work. If I'm not able to perform my job, I probably have no business being in the office that day, even if it does mean that I have consequences for it. If I can't work, I can't work. So it could mean doing things differently. It could mean asking for help doing it. It could mean asking for a rearrangement of job assignments. It could mean finding a different job. It occurred to me a few years ago, if I declined a little bit, if my functioning slowed down, that I may have to either ask at my job to go from full to part-time, or if that wasn't an option, to leave there and find a part-time job. That was something in my head I contemplated because I was going through a really rough patch during a med change where I thought, what if I go crazy semi for good? I don't use crazy to talk about other people, but I'll call myself whatever I want. What if I go crazy almost for good and my functioning is such that I can't type, I can't pay attention, I can't talk to other people, I get aggravated easy. There's no room for that when you're working with other people who have health concerns, like mental health concerns. So I had contemplated that kind of thing. And I would like to think if I needed to take a step back, I could. Oh, the ego would be smashed. Oh, I would probably be emotionally ripped apart by having to do that, because it would feel like how much was lost. But by taking a step back and maybe to go from full-time to part-time employment could mean a transition rather than going from full-time to none, because I pushed myself over the edge. So making adjustments, I would say, is something that helps me get through the workday, even though I'm not wrapped so tightly on some mornings. And then having something to look forward to once the day is done. I like coming home. Certainly I like when Mark comes home, we chit-chat, we talk. I catch up on YouTube, because YouTube isn't my job, it's a hobby. We're monetized. We probably get enough to pay both our cell phone bills, maybe. So it's a nice little bit of extra money, but we're not retiring off of our YouTube money. So it's more of a hobby for us. We'll make a video and put it out, and then I like to watch the numbers come in of how many views we get, and then I'll catch up on whoever I'm watching. Right now I'm into Yabba, still, YouTube Underground. I watch Chantal because I review Chantal. I watch a few different other channels. Cinemassacre, because I love the angry video game nerd, because I used to be a video game nerd when I was a kid. And I'll try to let my mind wander and let go of the day. And then fix some healthier food to eat before bed, because I always want to binge before bed because it makes me feel better and I don't think about my problems. But then in the morning, not only am I thinking about my problems, feeling bloated is a fifth or sixth problem. So just general self-care off the clock helps my time on the clock go a little more smoothly too. So I hope this was helpful to anybody who's trying to negotiate self-care and maybe dealing with hard days while you're at work. Life is much different now being employed. It's more challenging some days than others. But I would much prefer this than sitting home or being more ill, work is actually one of the things that helps me stay well. I think if I wasn't working, I would be a little more, I'd be in a bit more of a decline, actually. So work for me is a reason to get up, to shave. I'm shaving tomorrow. This is just for scruff, for show. Um, a reason to get dressed, to interact with people, and obviously it keeps the lights on, the ones that are too bright for me. And, keeps us fed, keeps the cat fed. So thank you all for watching. Please do subscribe, hit the like button, leave some comments below. You can follow Mark and I on Facebook at SmokeySteveAndMarc or on Instagram at SmokeySteveAndMarc. Our email address and contact info, P.O. Box, all that's listed below. Thank you all for watching, and we will catch up with you tomorrow for Weigh-In Wednesday. Dun dun dun! We'll see. I'm cautiously optimistic, but we'll find out tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Bye.